Hello everyone, my name is Sonia McDonald and welcome to the Brave Leadership webinar. I'm feeling very honoured to have you all on this webinar today. So I am brave, and what does this mean? What does it mean to be a brave leader? So I'm very passionate about courageous, kind and brave leadership, and I'm all about building brave and courageous leaders, and I believe that we need more brave leaders, don't you think? I think that we all have it within us to be brave and courageous. And what does that look like? So today I'm going to be sharing some great stories. I'm going to be asking you some questions. So make sure you get a pen and paper out, because I'm going to get you to take some notes and ask yourself some really great questions. You know, I'm going to be sharing some really powerful videos. I'm going to be sharing with you my 4 top tips around how to be courageous. So I'm hoping you're really excited. If you can tell me you're really excited, there's a chat box there. Just let me know that you cannot wait to hear about how to be brave and courageous. So let me show you one of my favorite videos around courage and bravery and fear.
I'm motivated by fear. I hate being scared to do something. I started attacking things that I was scared of. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. Fear is a choice. Make a choice. It's decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out the way. God placed the best things in life on the other side of terror. On the other side of your maximum fear are all of the best things in life. How do you get to the gym every day? You step. How do you change your diet? You step. How do you overcome fear of failure, or fear of success, or fear of fear itself? Take the step. And how do you face the fear of the unknown? Step. You have the physical body to do something. You have the mental capacity to believe in it. Now what do you want? It's a seed that's planted at birth inside of every single soul. 99% of the people never let that seed blossom in anything. It's the trials and tribulations of life that either make that seed blossom or not. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after it, you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you try. I failed. It's 10 times more than me. And someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. Behind every fear is a person you want to be. Success is not a marathon led with just ups. Success is formulated through failures, through facing your fears, through falling down and getting back up. That's what creates a champion. Success does not define us. We define the success. Don't wait anymore. Don't think anymore. Don't plan anymore. Don't contemplate anymore. Don't make any more excuses or justifications. Don't rationalize anything else. Instead, be aggressive. Take action now. The first step you need to take is just that. Step.
So I'd love to know your thoughts on that video, because I'm so passionate about helping people see the greatness within and have that courage. And it's interesting in terms of all the research that I've been doing and all the work I've been doing in this space, is that 95% of society aren't living the life they want, or they're not achieving the goals or dreams that they really desire, or they're not leading the life that they truly want. And it's interesting, it took a really devastating and unexpected event in my life for me to actually change my life. And I remember I was in China, I was in Shanghai, China, and my world had just fallen apart. And I remember getting on a plane coming back home, and I had to come back home to Australia with my 3-year-old little girl. And, I had very little money in the bank. I had no idea where I was going to live. And luckily I had my parents there that, I could move back in with them. And I thought, my gosh, what am I going to do now? And I'd made a commitment and a conscious decision when I was on that plane, and I remember I was sobbing, and I thought to myself, you know what, I need to create a really great life for my daughter and I, and what does that look like? And I'd made a commitment to be really courageous. And I remember coming back home, and it was really challenging for me to find opportunities that would offer me any flexibility that I had in my career and my experience and my degree. And I thought, oh, look, I'm going to have to reinvent myself. I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, I have to put a roof over my daughter and our heads, and we have to put food on the table. And I just found it really challenging finding an opportunity, and I reinvented myself, and I said yes to an opportunity, which I knew that, I only ticked 7 out of the 10 boxes I could do, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to learn. And I started working in the leadership space, with a company on construction sites where I was teaching engineers and superintendents about leadership. And I discovered this was my purpose and my passion. I started working in this space, and I loved it so much because I could see the difference that leadership made. And it wasn't until I started working on these construction sites around Australia that I thought, hang on, I've always been a leader. Leader isn't about a role or title. Leadership is about a mindset. Leadership is about action. It's about role. It's not about title. And here I am making a difference to others. Leadership is about others. Leadership is about how you can inspire others to do more, dream more, and learn more. And that's what I was doing. And I thought, okay, I'm absolutely in something. This is my purpose. And I thought then, you know what? I started a blog called LeadershipHQ, and then I turned the blog into a company, and that was 10 years ago. I've never worked so hard in all my life. However, I had the courage to do it, and I thought, I don't want to look back on my life. I don't want to get to my life, and I don't want to get to the end of my life and regret that I didn't put myself out there. And there's so many people that I work with and I coach, and they have this, I don't want to put myself out there. I feel like if I do that, I'm an imposter, or I don't want to take the risk. I don't want to step up, or I don't want to start that business, or what happens if someone finds me out that I'm not good enough, or, I'm not supposed to be where I'm at. And can I tell you, I've been there, and I've coached dozens of amazing CEOs and leaders that see it and actually think that as well. Like, they come into my sessions, they go, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm an imposter. I feel like someone's going to discover that I'm not supposed to be here. One of my favorite quotes is by Mike Myers. He says, one day the no talent police are going to come and arrest me. Like, I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but don't let the imposter syndrome, or don't let the tall poppy syndrome, or don't let the noise of others stop you from what you want to do with your life. So, I really want to, who wants to rock it today? Today, I just want you to rock it. I want you to rock it in this leadership space, and that seeing that leadership is a mindset. It's an attitude. It's a behavior. It is. It's about discovering who you are and being really brave, because at the end of the day, we've only got one life. We've only got one life. And they always say this, that when people are on their deathbeds, and sorry for being morbid on a Friday, but it's really important for you to think about this maybe as you step into the weekend, is you don't want to get to the end of your life and you're there at 95 or 100, and you're looking back and you're like, I wish I'd led a more authentic life. They say that. They say everyone, so many people say, I wish I had said yes so much more often, and I wish I'd led a more authentic life. I don't know about you, because every day, and it happened again yesterday to me when I was doing some coaching, is that people keep saying to me, can you believe it's nearly April? Where is this year going? And I'm thinking, yeah, I bet you next month everyone's going, can you believe it's April already? Wait till it gets to May. And the years just, I don't know about you, the time is going past so quickly. And I wake up every day and I'm like, right, I just want to make the most of today and be the best version of myself. So get your pad or piece of paper, get something you can write on and a pen, and I'm going to ask you some questions. Write these questions down. And I want you to think about these things, because the questions that you ask yourself are really, really important, okay? I ask myself questions every day. I'm constantly reflecting. So write this question down. What do you really want to accomplish? You know, write it down. Like, what do you want to accomplish? I remember when I wanted to accomplish my writing my book, I really want to accomplish this book. And I wrote it down and I visualized it. And I think that it's really important that you think about what you want to accomplish. Think about, what are your goals? Like, what are my goals? I don't know about you. This is why what I love with my coaching is I set goals with everyone, and I'm there as their cheerleader, making them, you know, even if they don't achieve all of them, even a couple of them, you know, it's about making the most out of your life and setting goals. Don't get to December 31st and look back on the year and go, oh my gosh, I wish I'd accomplished more. I wish I'd set some more goals or actually achieve more goals. So think about, what are your goals? It's really important. And what do you truly want? Like, write it down. What do you truly want? So yeah, just make sure that you think about that. What do you really want from your life? So what do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? What do you truly want for yourself? And also think about what is stopping you. I can tell you 9 times out of 10, it's us. It's you. It's like us. We're so good at stopping ourselves. I mean, my first book took 2 years to write. And what was stopping me from writing it or accomplishing it was me. I was so fearful of what people might think of the book that it used to stop me. I used to go, gosh, what happens if I've published this and people think it sucks? And then I thought, hang on a second, but what happens if just one person loves it? And it's that one person that matters. So it's amazing how these little things can really stop us. So today I'm going to be focusing on 4 key points, 4 key themes around how to be courageous in your leadership. Okay. So what are those 4? I use this great acumen. Okay. It's FUCH. Okay. I'm hoping you're laughing. If you are, just put in the chat box. I thought that was really funny. Or if you had a little giggle. Okay. So yes, it's FUCH. So I use this acumen. I'm going to explain what they all mean. I'm hoping you found that funny, but that's okay if you didn't. First one is fear. I'm going to talk to you about fear because we all feel it. You know, when it comes to being brave or courageous, you know, it's amazing. You know, we all feel it. The thing is, from a neuroscience perspective, because I love working in the neuroscience and mindset perspective, is that to get to courage and bravery, you have to go through fear. And there's interesting from a neuroscience lens that people, when they feel fear, there's like this switch in the brain that goes off when you feel this fear around, you know, that whole, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know if I can do this. It's the people that, excuse me, that move through it and go, you know what? Okay, I know that the fear is going on in my mindset or in my brain. I'm just going to move through it. I'm going to feel it and I'm just going to do it. Versus they move towards it, versus the ones that go, hey, you know what? I feel fear. The switch is going off. I'm going to move away from it. So how can you move through it? I want to talk to you about how you can move through the fear, and it's okay to feel fear. You know, courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, but not absence of it. It is so true. We can all move through it. So one of the things when it comes to the F word is focus. Focus is really important. I'm very focused on my passion and my vision to create courageous leaders, and that is my world. That is my focus. My focus is also to be the best version of myself for my daughter, because my daughter is my focus, her health and well-being, and helping her be the best version of herself as well. There's so many things now I say no to. There's so many things that I go, I don't want to be distracted by that. There's been so many times people have said, Sonia, you should look and focus at what others are doing and what your competitors are doing. No, I don't want to put my energy and focus into that, because attention goes, energy flows. And there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system, and the RAS for short. And I sometimes call it the red car theory, because every time, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, and I'd love to know if you have, maybe you can say it in the chat box, around, you know, you go and buy a new car, and then, you know what, you go, oh my gosh, I'm about to buy this new car. I've made a decision to buy like a black Volkswagen. And then you go on the road, you're driving on the road, or you're walking down the street, and then everybody has black Volkswagens. You're like, how many people have black Volkswagens? I didn't realize so many people had this car. I don't know if you've ever encountered that, you know, that you've made a decision because buying a car is really interesting and important, and then you see the car everywhere. You kind of see the data, the car everywhere. Well, that's the RAS. And guess who sets your RAS? It's you. You set your reticular activating system. But the thing is, it happens with all aspects of our life. The more you kind of decide to focus on something, the more you see it. And it happens with things like when you decide to focus on what's not great about you or your weaknesses, guess what? You're going to see them. It's amazing how many people come into our leadership programs and coaching go, oh, I just want to completely focus on my weaknesses. And I'm like, really? I mean, we're not perfect. I get that. And leadership's about learning. However, imagine if you focused on your strengths and talents as a leader a lot more. Imagine how that would help your confidence versus always focusing on your weaknesses, and then you see your weaknesses all the time. So I'm going to show you this really great video around the reticular activating system, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are while you're watching it. I'd love to know what you thought of that video and the reticular activating system, because I think it's really important that you think about, in terms of being courageous and being brave, that you set your RAS to focus on what you're grateful for, the positives, your strengths. I think that when you set your RAS, I set my RAS every morning. I think it's really, really important. Yeah, and it is. It's very thought-provoking and true. So thank you for that. The next one, I've spoken about F, which means focus, but also U means you. I think I find that, you know, I think leadership is definitely about others, but leadership starts with you. Leadership starts with being self-aware, about finding out like who you are, you know, what are your values. Like, I think your values are really important. I mean, I am very committed and aligned to my values. I reflect about my values every day, and at the end of the day around how I've gone. I'm not perfect, by the way, in that space. And self-awareness is a key. If I could go back in time and say something to my younger self, it would be start learning leadership now and start to get to know who you are. The self-awareness piece is really important around what's my purpose as a leader. You know, what's my philosophy? What do I want to stand for as a leader in my space? I think that's really important. The next thing, you know, because at the end of the day, absolutely what we think we become, it's so important. So when it comes to, you know, courage, you know, I've spoken about, you know, focusing on you, but also leadership is about courage. And I mean, everyone sees courage differently. I mean, for me, it's around being, you know, courage from the heart, like being really authentic and true to myself, and having the courage to be who I am, and not change who I am to suit others or try and fit in. Like, own who I am and having courage around that. And also thinking for myself, you know, having a voice. You know, the most courageous act is to still think for yourself aloud. I think that leadership is absolutely about courage. Leading your life is about courage. And I think that's really important. And also having commitment to be the best person you can be. And also, you know, we talked about fear, and in that video we talked about that one step. Can I tell you now, all the research I've done around fear and neuroscience and courage and being brave, is the one thing that makes a difference is commitment. Even if it's one tiny thing, if you commit to one tiny thing that you can do differently, or even to improve yourself. I mean, I was running a leadership program this week with 12 leaders, and, you know, there was a lot of self-awareness during the day, and it was amazing to hear what they're going to commit to be the best versions of themselves. A few of them found it a bit challenging. Most were like, I'm actually going to embrace this. I want to keep being the best I can be. And it's about that commitment to yourself. I mean, you've only got one life, and it just takes that one step to move forward, that you can actually make a change in your life and be brave. Just that one step, you know, because the path from dreams, I just clicked that for some reason. The path from dreams to success does exist. You may have the vision to find it, the courage to get on to it, and the perseverance to follow it. So, you know, I had a vision to start a company, and I remember when I decided to start the company, I just had flip chart all over my wall for a year. It took me a year. I called it, and I wrote about it in my book, Leadership Attitude. I called it jumping off the cliff. You know, for me to lead the life I wanted to lead, I felt like it was like jumping off the cliff. And for a year, I watched this populated and grew this flip chart, you know, business from flip chart paper. And I did it. I just went, you know what? And you know, some people were like, you've got to do this. Other people were like, no, Sonia, you're a single mom. You can't start a business. You got to focus on getting a 9-to-5 job. I said, no, but I've got to be persistent. I've got to persevere. I know I can do this. So whatever it is, if I can do it, you can do it. And the other thing I want to talk about when it comes to like the C word is comparison. Don't compare yourself. You know, it's the one thing I see from so many people I work with, is that they compare themselves to others. Look what they have. Look what they're doing. You know, look what they look like. I'm like, well, it's great that they look like that, or they're doing that, or they've achieved that. Like, you should be really grateful and be proud of their success, but focus on you and what you want and what your goals are and what, is wonderful about you, what you want to accomplish. I mean, comparison is absolutely the death of joy. You know, if we could teach our younger generations, which I'm super passionate about, around getting off social media or looking at what other people are up to on Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook and just going, you know what they're doing is fantastic and I'm so proud of them. I'm going to really focus on being the best I can be and being proud of myself. I think and being grateful for that as well. And also it's about setting habits. I think that's really important. It's around how you can set habits to you know, every day. Like I set habits. The first thing in the morning I wake up, there's a great book called The Miracle Morning. And I wake up first thing in the morning and I sit down and I journal. I, you know, do affirmations. I visualize. I write myself questions around like, what do I want to achieve today? Who do I want to be today? Like I'm literally telling the universe, I'm the most important person. I'm waking up today, that I really value myself. I'm really worthy. I want to set my mindset and my RAS for the day. And at the end of the day, I reflect. I set a habit where I actually spend some time reflecting around what worked, what didn't work, what do I achieve, what could I do differently, what did I learn. There's some great resources and books around how you can set some really great habits. Also habits around your mindset and thinking as well, I think is really important. So set those habits. And finally, just be compassionate to yourself. To be brave and be courageous is just to love yourself and be compassionate. We're all human. We're all making mistakes. I've made so many mistakes. I've stuffed up so many times. I've actually learnt my greatest lessons from those stuff-ups. But it's really important that you talk to yourself like you would someone that you love. Okay, that's really important. That's one of my favourite quotes by Brené Brown. Talk to yourself like someone that you love. And I always use this analogy around a child. I'm sure you've all got a child in your life, whether it's a son or daughter, niece or nephew, a friend's child, you know, whatever. I'm sure you've all got a child in your life that you care about or you love. And I always say this to people. I say, look, if a child came up to you and said to you, hey, I just want to have a conversation with you. You know, I really want to go for this at school, or I really want to go for this, you know, in my sports club, or wherever they want, whatever dream or goal they have. I want to put my hand up, you know, but I don't think I'm good enough. Like, I don't think I'm worthy. I don't think I'm smart enough. You know, I just don't think I am. I don't think I can do it. And would you look down at that child and go, you're right, you're not worthy? And you probably can't do it, and you're probably going to fail. I mean, you wouldn't say that to a child. So why would you say it to yourself? You know, you would say, you have got this. Oh my gosh, you know what? Just commit to it, or put your hand up. You put yourself out there. You're really worthy. You can do this. Be brave. Be courageous. You've only got one life. You can do this. You know, so why say it to yourself? I think that's really important. So in terms of what's next, I think for me, it's around how I can help you be brave and courageous. You know, we're about to launch next week an amazing online self-paced and also group coaching courageous leadership program. I'm super excited about it. We also have got, you know, coaching programs. So if you're interested in getting coached, reach out to me. We've also got some amazing resources and tools that you'll have access to as part of that, and some amazing breakfasts and events happening in Brisbane. So stay tuned for that. And remember, take care of yourself. Being courageous is about you and about you leading the life you want to lead. They always say when you're on a plane, in case of an emergency, put the oxygen mask on yourself. And I see so many people that I work with, they get so caught up in busyness that they forget to take care of themselves. They forget to kind of nurture and be compassionate or think about what they want for their lives. They get caught up in the kind of like the busyness of life. You know, think about, what do you really want for yourself? Put the oxygen mask on yourself. So I would love to know, what is the one thing you're going to commit to? What's the one thing you're going to put into action? You can tell me in the chat box here. You can email me. What is that one thing you're going to do? I would love to know, what is that one thing you're going to do to be brave, to be courageous? I would love to know. And if there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know, because all I want is for you to lead a courageous, authentic life, because if I can do it, you can do it. And I only want to see you succeed, and I want to be your greatest cheerleader. We need to be each other's greatest cheerleaders. That's all I want. So if you'd love to know more about what we're doing with the Courageous Leadership Space or our online program, let me know, because you know what, it's about action. You know, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy, man. Just go out there and get busy, because you have totally got this. Totally got this. And thanks, Janelle. It is about focus and commitment. It is. It's totally, I can tell you right now, it is. And just don't lose that greatness within, and start to sit down and think about what makes you rock. And if there's anything I can do to help you be brave and courageous, please reach out to me at sonia@soniamcdonald.com.au. And thank you so much for being on my Brave webinar. And you all rock. Thank you.